Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. All right, so this is going to be a 2,000 mile review on my 2023 Tesla Model 3 Performance. From this video, I'm going to talk about the things I like about the car. I'm going to talk about the things that I dislike about the car. And I'm going to also bring up some reasons why you may want one. By the time I'm done this video, you're probably going to want to buy one because there are a lot of pros about this car. I kind of wish when I bought this, I bought it a while ago. So let's go ahead and get started. So everyone, my name is Eddie. I do a lot of car content. I have some BMW content, some Honda Type R. I do a lot of different things. Sometimes an occasional car review. Just check out my other videos. Maybe if you like what you see, you could consider a subscription. So anyway, Tesla Model 3 Performance. There's reasons why I didn't want to buy Tesla. Main thing was my first thing was the looks. I'll just say they don't look, they can look good, but they don't. They look like any other car on the road, and out here in California, there's a lot of them. You spend some money on a car, you kind of want it to look different. At least for me, I like my cars to look, sort of set myself apart from the other cars. However, with going electric, I was strongly against electric. I knew it had its place, but for me, I wanted to hear the engines. I wanted to hear the cars make this sound. But then that comes with a cost, and with my commute, I drive 40 miles, 45 miles one direction, so just under 100 miles around trip. I realized that there isn't much that commute comes with the cost of fuel. So if I say like, okay, this car looks boring, if I'm going to a boring car, let's say if I want to get something more fuel efficient, like a Corolla or something, I could probably save money on the cost of the car, and then obviously to get the return, the fuel savings. But that would not be a fun car to drive. And let's be honest, EVs aren't that fun to drive either. So of course I'm gonna cross shop. I'm gonna look at other EVs. I'm trying to look at anything but Tesla. I was trying to say, okay, Polestar 2, BMW i4. How did the Kia stuff stack up, the EV products? But each time I looked at those cars, I compared them right back to the Tesla. And I started thinking, should I try one? And of course I rented. If you follow the channel long enough, I rented probably a handful of these. I rented the S, the X, two threes. And I just decided that I should just go ahead and get the 3. So of course with the price reductions this year, I decided to go ahead, and because I had ordered a long range last year, canceled that order. And this year I was able to get into a performance for the same price. I like the performance. Not really for the performance, and I'm gonna get to that later. But I just like the wheels. I like just the red brake calipers. I'm sure you can do the things, and of course the carbon fiber spoiler that you can add on. I like the black. Now, I don't like really black cars because I think black hides a lot of the lines. But with the Tesla, there isn't many lines you're gonna hide. There's no grill. It's missing something. So in that case, take advantage, get black, because it's gonna blend in. And I think the black just has a sleek look to it, especially when you tint the windows out. But when I cross shop all those other cars fell short on something. Either the feature package, or maybe the performance wasn't there, or the charging speed wasn't there, or the infrastructure. And I looked at all those things. The Tesla seemed to be the best bang for my buck. For one, the ease of use. My phone is my key. By having my phone, I can walk up to the car and the car will unlock when I pull the door handle. So the mirrors unfold, the car locks. I can walk away from the car, you'll hear it honk the horn, the car will lock itself back. I don't have to do anything. And I know what you're gonna say. You're gonna say, well, Eddie, what happens if your phone dies? You know, and that's a good question, but Tesla's already got, they've already thought of it. Have in here is credit card size key. So by using that, I can tap that to get into the car. Just say, for example, I lost my phone or have my phone with me, or if I want to give my key to someone else, tap that right here. And then if I lock the car, that's all you need to do. So those little handy features right here. Now all I have to do is credit card size. I put this in my wallet, done. Next thing is, it's the range. Do I need 300 miles of range? No, I don't. But why be restricted? Why say, okay, 250 miles of range, 200 miles is enough? If I'm buying the car for commuting, I'd rather have extra range than fall short and need it. Now, with that being said, I have a charger or a wall connector at home. I can charge at my house. I can have the benefits of leaving my house with the full or a near full battery. And I never stop at a gas station. The pure convenience of skipping gas stations is worth the loan for going to EV if you're commuting. Because for me, I was stopping at fuel stations every couple of days. It was annoying because of the amount of driving I was doing. Another thing I like about it is I can schedule the time that I'm leaving my job, schedule the time that I'm leaving my house. And if I'm plugged into the charger, it will charge itself. It knows basically what state of charge is at and what my target level is set. And the car, say for example, it won't start charging at, you know, whatever time I have it set for. If I wanted to, I can do it that way, but I have it set to leave the charge it right before I depart. So then at that point, it charges it right before I leave and it warms the battery, preconditions the battery, gets it warm. And so I get into the car, just basically unplug, jump into it, seats are warm, steering wheel's warm, climate control's already on, and I go. I didn't have to waste any energy. The car provided all this energy from my house as far as heating or cooling the car. Leave for work, I can have it set for my work. If I'm not plugged in, of course the car it turns AC on, and by the time I get in the cars are cooled off. It's perfect, perfect right there for me. Also, the way that they have these cars is when I'm driving, I always put my destination in. I know my battery level when I arrive. I know if I'm doing a round trip, what my battery level is going to be if I do a round trip. And that range anxiety is gone. I've been at a low battery before, Nats. Been a low battery before, and I never had any issues with feeling like I'm gonna run out of battery and I'm gonna be stuck. Two reasons. One, because I have a charger. I always have a near full battery. I leave my house. But second of all, when I fall low, no worries. Tesla has the best supercharger network. I am not subjected to the chargers out there that could be broken. Would this be work? Would this be full? I know that I have access to the best supercharger network out there. There's no other charger that comes close to Tesla. I know what the cost when I arrive. I know how many spots are available. I know if there's gonna be a wait, because there's a couple of chargers out here. I don't know. I'm assuming there's people out here who use the superchargers as a gas station, and they may live in an apartment or a townhome, don't have that, which is fine. But I know that some busier times I know, and I haven't needed that. The car is like a computer. It's got a lot of neat things for me that I like. I'm a techie guy. I like the tech stuff, so I can appreciate all the things that they build into the car. It's very responsive, it's fast. Of course, you know, with the newer ones, the AMD Ryzen chip, it just feels like it's just instant response. Okay. Another reason, this reason alone was like, I was mind blown. If you've been to Apple Store and you purchased an iPhone and you've been impressed with how the iPhones, when they buy, like, you know, when they come to you and they say, okay, what do you want to buy? You want to buy this iPad? Okay. They'll press something real quick. They don't talk to anybody. And all of a sudden this iPad pops out of nowhere. Somebody brings it up and you get the iPad, you purchase it right there from individual, receipt comes out from just random desk. You don't really have to deal with any like salesman. That right there is amazing. And that's sort of the similar buying experience you get with the Tesla. You get a buying experience that's modern feeling. It's just, okay, for example, I place my order on my phone. I Apple paid my deposit through my Apple device. And I'm sure if you have Android, it's paid the same way. From there, I was given a reservation number, and then a couple days later, I was updated with a date. I was able to pick my car. I knew my color. I picked my interior color. That was it. I knew my price of the car. There was no salesman talking to me about this. There was no like trying to shop around, trying to find markup. And then I just waited for my delivery date. And then, of course, the app gives you updates. It tells you, okay, upload your insurance, upload your driver's license. If you're financing, upload your loan information. If you're using Tesla financing, apply. And then I was just notified when the car was arrived. I was given a VIN number. I scheduled my pickup date. I arrived, and even with the arriving at the showroom, because they don't have, like I said, dealerships, they were just kind of, I was just giving a, directed to a check-in. My name, provided my name. They confirmed who I was. Less than 10 minutes later, actually probably within a 5-minute thing, I was escorted to my car. They showed me where the car was. I was gave a quick overview as far as the key cards and how that stuff works. And then I was done. The tutorials are right there. Of course, you already have them on your phone. Your car is yours. There was no upsells. There was nothing else. If you're thinking right now, wow, you're really starting to convince me on this thing. I have a code. Tesla has reinstated their referral codes. So there's a code in the description. I'll flash it up on the screen, but if I check my description here, and you'll see my referral code. If you're saying, you know what, I was on the fence, but hearing this makes me want to go ahead and take the plunge and go ahead and go for it, use that code, and we'll both get something. Okay. But I'm gonna continue with the pros. And why I decided to go for Tesla again is the feature pack. When you go for the other manufacturers, you have to decide if you wanted the upgraded sound system. I have to decide if I wanted to get, for example, the driver assistance package. You have to pick if you want heated seats or not. If you want, there's so many different things that you have to opt for. And it's just like buying a regular car. You just check boxes. Like you see the price, and then you got check boxes and go from there. Tesla, the only thing you're really paying for is already loaded. You're paying for the colors, your exterior and interior color. And then the only main option you get, if you're getting a 3, you can choose if you want the enhanced autopilot or full self-driving. Now, before you think about this, the car already has the full self-driving computer built in. It is something you can add later. You can try it out if you like. You don't have to spend them $15,000. I don't think that is worth the price, because say for example, I were to buy that, I totaled the car right next day. The car that has no value. The insurance doesn't see value in that. They can compare to other Teslas that don't have that, and you can lose that value right away. It'd be nice if you could take it car to car, but they don't do it that way. Enhanced autopilot is another thing that just kind of takes the autopilot features already there. And let me go back to what autopilot is. Autopilot doesn't mean like you can just fall asleep and drive the car. It just means is they're branding. Some cars call it, some companies call it like, for example, BMW calls it Driver Assistance Package Pro or something like that. And I think most cars call it Driver Assistance Package. I think that's what it is. But with Tesla, they just call it autopilot because they're essentially saying that the car drives itself. Now, there are some advanced features with this compared to the cars. The car can recognize signs, trash cans, motorcycles, traffic cones. It can read the traffic lights, tell me if it's green or not. If it's green, I'm not paying attention, it'll chime at me. Beep. Just a soft chime to let me know that light's green. It's pretty cool, actually. It reads the lines, it knows the line markings, it knows if I'm in a turn lane or not. And this is just, I didn't buy anything extra. This is what the car came with. So I'm happy with it. Some things I'm not happy with. For a car at this price point, you have to remind yourself what you're getting. If you're coming from if you've never had an electric car and you're coming from like your Corolla or something like that, and you step up this, you're gonna love it. If you're coming from like Mercedes, maybe BMW, depending on what you're coming from, what year. If you're coming from Jaguar, Cadillac, things like that, you're going to get into this thing and you're going to feel like it is not luxurious. It is not luxurious at all by any means. There's nothing luxury about seats, a tablet or a computer, and a steering wheel. There's nothing else. There's no ambient lighting. There isn't any massaging seats. There isn't any ventilated seats, at least with the 3. I think maybe the top line Model S and X might get those. There is no 360 cameras. There is cameras, but some cars where you have the backup camera or reverse and you can see the 360, there's nothing like that in here. There is no augmented reality. You can see there's just a few things that from a luxury standpoint, we see the contrast stitching in some cars and a lot of Alcantara. There's the nice leather. There isn't like that in here. So know what you're getting before you get into it. You're not getting that, but from a commuter standpoint, from having an appliance and get me something to and from work, I should have done this a long time ago. It's a great sound system. I was impressed. Maybe you could use a little more bass, but I'm pretty happy with it. I keep mine at a good level. Mids highs are good. When I'm parked, because there are times where I had to be on standby, I had to be in my car and wait. I have to, when I'm waiting, usually I'm on my phone, especially on a hot day, I'm going to have to keep the engine idling. I don't like engine idling. I don't like that. So a lot of times I'll sit there in the hot sun with the windows down and I'm, sweating or something like that, or I might turn the AC on for a little bit just to cool me off. And it might be like an hour or 2 at a time, and it sucks. And with the Tesla, I can sit there, windows up, AC on. The cars can idle. It's designed to do that. And I can sit there and watch YouTube, Netflix, Hulu. And right now I'm watching some show on Netflix. I'm trying to catch up on. And you're probably saying, well, I can do that on my phone. You can, but it's cool because I can listen to the car's audio system, and the surround sound is amazing. If you really feel like you're in the surround sound like a theater, and I'm not exaggerating. So I just cool right there having it on the main screen. Of course, there's an internet browser and things like that, and that comes with the fee. I think you get like 30 days free, and then you can subscribe to it for a small fee, like $10 or something like that. Safety, I wanted the safety. Obviously, this has a good safety rating. This has a good safety rating. Being low center of gravity, obviously the battery's low, the car isn't really less prone to roll over. I went 3 instead of the Y because the 3 being lower to the ground means that when I'm driving at higher speeds, is a little bit more efficient. It's not pushing to the wind as much because 3 and Y are using the same motors. There's nothing different about them. So having a little bit less lower car, lower to the ground, for me as a commuter standpoint, already having an SUV, a gasoline SUV for those family outings, does what it needs to do. And if I need to put the car seat in here, it's great. I've never seen a car, especially in a car in this class, that where I could put a rear-facing child seat and not have to put the passenger seat up. The passenger seat up actually is back pretty far, and I can sit in it and be perfectly fine. My front passenger is comfortable. It's almost like they don't know the car seat's there. I don't know what they did for the space dimensions, but it's amazing. I'm not, like I said, I'm not saying I'm a Tesla lover. I'm a part of the cult, but I can see how good this car is, and why didn't I get this for the purpose of what I want to do? I may feel differently. I won't want this to be my only car. I won't want this to be my sole transportation. But if it had to be, for example, if I had to use this car temporarily, I'd be perfectly fine with it. It's got everything I need with it. What I don't like about it, my biggest con right now, your laugh, is the windshield wipers. And I thought it was just me, but I'm seeing more complaints on it. The rain sensing wipers are the worst you can have. My main complaint with it is you don't get the settings like you do on other cars with rain sensing wipers. For example, rain sensing wipers on most cars, you have a setting where you can set, okay, you have auto, low, and high. Okay, when you're in auto setting, you have choices between your sensitivity. You can adjust how sensitive it wants to be. If you want to be really sensitive or less sensitive to the rain. and you don't get those features. You just get whatever Tesla says programmed. So when I'm in light mist, the wipers are going, and I'm just like, I want them to slow down, just calm down a little bit. But no, there is no setting. So a lot of times I find myself having to go into the screen, trying to figure out, okay, there is no stalk other than I had to hit a button on the left stalk, which then populates a menu for the wipers. And at that point I can select if I want them in manual override as far as low or high or intermittent. And I'll do that, but then if I need to adjust the speed, there is no physical setting to adjust the intermittent. I have to go back in here and go to higher intermittent or switch them over to low. Very annoying. Needs to be redone. They need to give us more settings to control. Like, I'm fine with auto wipers, but if you give me auto wipers, give me a low setting. Give me a low sensitivity setting. That way, if I'm in a heavy downpour, those wipers should not even go to high speed unless I'm in a medium or high sensitivity setting. That's what needs to be done. Lack of sensors. Now, this may not go for if you're buying a used Tesla. If you find one, if you get the ultrasonic sensors, that's fine. For me, I got a 2023. I don't have the sensors, so I lose out on the parking assist, and I lose out when I park. For example, it tries to read the curbs, but using the cameras in the car. But if I'm going too fast, it gets confused. Someone that's not familiar with it is going to get confused. My wife drove it. She pulled into her parking space. She caught, when she was pulling in, she had plenty of room, but the cameras thought that the car was coming in too quickly. And it moved the sensor up to the red, like you were hitting something, and it said stop on the screen. So she stopped. And I said, why'd you stop? She said, oh, the car said stop. I'm like, no, you got plenty of room. You just probably, but, you know, she's thinking that maybe something else trying, you know, first time driving the car, she didn't know. Can't blame her. But the whole, like, that park assistant thing needs to be improved. I already did a video about that. I don't need to go more in detail about it. But coming from other commuter cars I've had, I didn't have parking sensor, so to me it's not a big deal. The wiper things is a little annoying. For being a performance, and I bought the performance because I wanted, obviously I'm a power junkie. Driving an EV, you don't want, it changes your driving habits. No matter how, like I say, I love performance, but I don't find myself using it. I just find myself just kind of cruising, trying to find a way to best manage my battery. I never thought I'd do that, but I do that. But it is nice knowing you have that acceleration. It is nice knowing that from 0 to 60, there's nobody's going to be able to keep up with me. Nothing. I mean, maybe the chances of me lining up something that gasoline car is going to be right here with me. There's nothing out there that's going to touch me. Torque is instant. It's just nice to have that. And for me as a commuter, if I need to pass someone, I have that. The downfall about this is, for me and being an enthusiast, having a performance model doesn't get you any extra points. It doesn't look like anything different than any other car. So when you look at this and you see the other Model 3s and everything else, I blend in. I look like any other Model 3. So the only way that somebody will know is if they see the red brakes, or if they see the carbon fiber spoiler, or the wheels. Other than that, I look like any other Model 3. So even though it's a performance, if I'm pulled next to another car enthusiast, they don't even look at me. It's like I blend. It's like they just don't even think about it, because I think a lot of people, even the people who buy the performance models, they don't. I think some people are buying the performance to get a car sooner to save on wait time, but I don't necessarily think that. I would say at least half the buyers are just buying it just to, I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know who's buying it, but I see a lot of performance cars, a lot of performance Teslas, and what usually happens is I just see, like, I don't know, an elderly lady driving it, and I was like, well, I don't know if she knows what she has. But who knows? I'm not one to stereotype or judge. What I like too is these cameras. It's called Sentry Mode. These cameras are recording. So I can set it up so these cameras are constantly recording the car So I don't have no need to have a separate dash cam. If I'm driving, I can save a mode if I need to. I can, if I get into a crash or something like that, I can recall those imaging and video. These cameras are recording. These cameras are reading the lines. I have the rear camera. Something else about this car is the paint. When the paint looks shiny right now, it is then something about the chemicals and being in California, the way that they regulate it. They're saying that the paint is prone to scratching easily, in which I notice it doesn't. The paint is just thin. So yeah, I recommend, if you can afford it, to get full PPF. I did the full car up to here, full hood, full fenders is PPF'd. It's all PPF'd here. Of course, back of the mirrors, front bumper, headlights, fog lights. But maybe I should do the rest of the car. Who knows? Also, another thing about this car is the storage. So having the front storage is nice. Having the trunk and the sub trunk is just, you have so much storage in here. Never have to worry about anything. Wish there was a sunroof or something, but I'm okay with having a glass. Just wish they would give you a sunshade or some type. I know there's accessories out there, but I wish that some came from the factory. But yeah, this is my Tesla Model 3. This is why I like it. I'm pretty happy with it so far. I didn't think I was gonna like it as much. It's a little dirty in here, but I apologize. Should probably vacuum. Let's see, I have actually I have more miles than I thought I did. Let's see. That's what miles I have. 2,800 miles. So I've been driving this thing pretty good.
X-band, K-band, Ka-band, laser, GPS connected.
So just jumping into this car, you get into it and go. Really easy to drive. And I've done videos on this car for, not this particular one, but on Teslas before. If I need to stop, just let off, and it comes to a nice smooth stop. Lets off gently, and you barely feel the car stop itself. Car's quiet, easy to drive. And I come up here, I could ease off the accelerator, not touching the brake or anything, just ease off. It comes down. For some reason I need to step on it. It just goes. It's amazing that having all this power here, and this is gonna be, even from rolling. Let's say I'm rolling at 50 miles an hour and I need to punch it. It just picks up. And again, not touching the brake, I'm just slowly letting the car decelerate itself. This green bar tells me how much acceleration and deceleration I have, or regeneration. Green means you're regenerating, black means you're using power. And if I step on it, all the power goes back. But like I said, if I'm in chill mode, obviously I don't get the power, but what I can do is, if my family's in the car, I need to pick up speed, I could just slowly just go ahead and just roll into it. And that's me just slowly rolling into the power. I didn't have to slam anything, nobody's head got slammed, and just picked up. You can use whatever you have. If I go into chill mode, and I said, okay, let's go ahead and accelerate. Let's foot to the floor. And see, it picks up, but it's picking up more like like any other gasoline, like Honda Accord or something like that. Maybe what it feels like. And for me is I don't feel like I want to be neutered that way to where like I need the power now. I can't flip. It's not like any other car I can flip it over, hit a sport mode. I got to go in here and change the screens, and that's too much. And see again, and of course has the auto brake hold, which will pop up here once the brake is hold right there or right there. The brake hold. Brake lights are on. It's showing everything. I'm pretty much ready. So let me U-turn in chill mode and let's see how quick it picks up. I may do a video on this too to see how the speed difference between chill and sport. The chime told me that the light was green. It knows like which light I'm in. Tell me. All right, here we go. Floor to gas or throttle. So that was chill mode. So I like the sport. Let's keep it in sport mode. So yeah, just the standard features you get. Mirrors dim automatically. Both mirrors, review mirror dims automatically. Just, I don't know. Overall, I'm having a good experience. Really consider driving one. If you have know somebody has one, I think you should really get into one and see if they can, or do a test drive. Then my best recommendation. Best thing I think to make your experience better, don't get one and rely on the supercharger network as your sole needs. This is a make exception with me. Get one and get a home charger installed. That's my best advice. If you found the video helpful, if you found this video, maybe it can help you, maybe you want to make your decision, go ahead and give me a thumbs up on this video. And if you decide to go ahead and buy the Tesla, maybe use my referral link. I appreciate it. Anyway, thanks for watching.